Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another Euro 2020 watch-along between Hungary and France. The world champions obviously have a lot of favours as well, a lot from Budapest. Full capacity again as well. Big up themselves and big up Stephen and Jack just joined us as well. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe. It takes a second just to press the red button and leave a like as well, and share the content, share the content as we are live. So any and everyone is a football fan that loves football. Obviously, being an Arsenal fan is a bonus, obviously. But yeah, teams are just out doing the national anthems. France are going first. France are in there playing in their all-white kit. Budapest obviously playing with Budapest. Hungary will be playing it on home turf, but in their home kit as well. Yeah, I'm a fucking throat. There we go. Oh, there's Steve. Warren's here. Brownie's even here. Brownie's not too hungover to join us, by the way, by the looks of it. If you know, you know. Sorry. I was happy with the Scotland draw yesterday, but we should have won. If we beat Croatia, we go through as third place. If Belgium beat final and Switzerland failed to beat Turkey. If we beat Croatia, we go third place at place. Oh, okay. If Belgium beats Switzerland, was it Belgium? Belgium beat final and Switzerland failed to beat Turkey. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming you mean if England, whoever finishes third in England Scotland group has to play, obviously, someone from the Belgium or Switzerland. I don't know. Because Switzerland and Belgium aren't in the same group, are they? Oh, I can't remember now. Literally, I can't remember. But play it seems to them groups respectively, obviously. Yeah, Belgium aren't in Turkey's group. Oh, I don't know. We were dreadful, says Warren. If Belgium beat Finland, I was going to say, like, what? What groups have we been watching? Oh, dear. That's the thing that's going around, obviously, since last night and all that. Obviously, the performance and the result. That Southgate's basically trying to get the team not to win the group or come second. He wants the easiest path possible yet again. And again, people don't realise how bad that sounds. There's no helping them. Seriously. England only did a draw to go through and a win wins a group. Yeah. The thing is, if we win the group though, Steve, we have to play fucking France, Portugal or Germany respectively, who becomes second in this group. Oh, God. And that's, yeah. Yeah, group of Belgium, Finland, Russia, Denmark. Yeah, that's it, yeah. I think, bloody hell. And the thing is, no, I'm not going to fuck it with Southgate to do everything you can to get one of the top four third place teams of bollocks, yeah. And what's going to happen? We'll get Belgium. Belgium will finish in a position we didn't want them to finish, and they'll finish there just to piss us off. And we'll play and get knocked out like we did, get thumped like we did in the third and fourth place playoff of the World Cup. And then, wow, then what? I'm already on a mindset, literally. Look, if we don't get this, if Southgate cannot get this England team to a semi-final at least, on any sort of route out of the three routes to the semi-final, basically, if he can't do it, he has to go. He has to go anyway. But this is that revamp that seals it for me. Like, no, don't give him another fucking tournament for fuck's sake. If we are serious about utilising the best out of this group of players we have to obviously go and get a better manager. If that means we have to go down the foreign route, so be it. Because in my head, there isn't a good enough English manager anyway, or head coach anyway at the moment to manage England. In my opinion, that will take us to that level. People will say Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe is not ready yet. let Eddie Howe have his career at club level and earn it, and sort of be ready. Don't rush it, because if you rush it, we're going to have a fucking McLaren Southgate Hodgson situation where he's been given a job based on current form, basically, not on the longevity of his career. This, that, no bollocks. I mean, Southgate, how the fuck is Southgate at the top? He literally managed one other team, and that was a Middlesbrough in 2007, I think it was, or whatever it was. After literally, his second season, they got relegated. 4 games into the third season at championship level, they were second, and he got sacked for being a point off Newcastle. And he hadn't until this England job had a job since. He'd literally just been given the under-21s job. Was at the same time as Adidas was hired for the senior job. And Adidas did what he did, and it all went fucking tits up. And he had to get temporary at the time promoted to the senior squad. And then he got made full time, and then with that, Eddie Boothroyd got given the under-21 job. So, and look what's happened there. Season for 3-1. France win. I think they're going to win. I think they'll win 4-5-0. I think, because it's just based on the fucking players that the personnel that France have. Don't get me wrong. Hungary gave Portugal a run for their money for most of that game the other night. But in the last few minutes, as soon as the goal went in, they dropped their heads. The heads went. And I think again, if France get an early goal or goal at any point, that'd be it. And the earlier France get a goal, the more goals they're going to score in this game. Because Hungry players will be like, oh. Even though they've got a home crowd behind them, I think that's what sort of pulled him through for most of that game. As well, they had a home crowd, and they were unlucky. It should have been 1-0 up. Like 2 minutes before, obviously Portugal scored, but obviously the player was offside. It didn't galvanise them. They sort of went back and sat back, and a fluke goal happened. And yeah, I mean, going back to Southgate, if it's true that he's actually trying to get the team basically not win it, and try and get the easiest possible route to get progressed further into the tournament in that hope, A, it could backfire anyway, and B, what does that tell you? What sort of mentality he has, manager? That he doesn't believe in this current crop of players to qualify by winning the group to play the best of the best. And don't get me wrong, this crop of players could do that. This crop of players can compete with the best teams, like the Frances, the Portugals, the Germanys, and all that, Italy. But what's like Colin's been saying for months, and since Scotland qualified and all that, and quite a few people said it. What is holding us back? Being able to be competitive as a whole, showing that ability, is our England manager. I'm not enjoying club football, obviously, with Arsenal at the moment, because obviously where we're going backwards and all that. I can't even get the sort of, in terms of football-wise, divert off that and enjoy international football, because we've got a manager equally as inept running the show there. It's a good thing I like other sports other than football, because otherwise I'll be fucked. I will bring you on in a minute, Warren. I'll send you a link in a sec. Middlesbrough managers are disaster. McLaren and South. Yep. But they want yes men. Yeah, this FA lot want yes men. They'll go, yes, sir. It's such an honour to be an England manager. We will never complain. And that's another reason why they won't go down that route of hiring a foreign manager, because they've gone down that route. Capello and Spengo and Urchin, both of them. Basically, when it kind of got tough, and they weren't getting the resources they needed via the FA itself, their managers called them out on it publicly. Right, bear with me a second. Players, got a nice back on back piece. All that stuff. That ain't good. This is like walking. It looks okay, but obviously got a nice back. He's probably had to be subbed off, the Hungary player. There we go. Send a link. Anyone else wants to come on, do let me know in the chat. Let me know how I can get hold of you, and I'll send you a link as well, guys. Oh dear. But going back to this game, I was saying about 4 or 5. I think 4. Anything more will be a bonus, but I think 4 for France. Because they are slightly stronger than what Portugal are, let's be honest. It's just Portugal have Ronaldo basically in their team that got them through that. Otherwise, that would have been another fucking tournament 0-0. It would have been worse for Portugal. Hungary could have gone on to win that. As I said, they did put the ball back into the net. Oh dear, just 1 sec to bring Warren in. 1 second. There we go.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How you doing?
I had my second jab yesterday, so feeling a bit lurgy. Not as bad, but
yeah, you're keeping on top of your pain relief and all that.
Yeah. Didn't have much pain relief last night.
No, sadly.
No. Man, I was cooking last night. I really was. I'm so glad I didn't come on last night because that was honestly. I'll tell you what, they're putting themselves about a bit in this game, aren't they?
Mm.
Hungary are trying to rough France up a bit. I absolutely staggered about. If we can go back to last night, first of all, let me just say this as a ref. The ref last night was absolutely superb. Absolutely bang on. I couldn't fault him on anything. No wonder he got the Champions League final as well. He looked a really, really good ref. He understood that it was going to be quite a tasty game, and he kept the cards in his pocket until he needed to use them. There's a few things that got me last night, mate. He took Foden off to bring Grealish on, and then played him on the left. And you were like, "What the hell's going on?" Sterling was a passenger.
Yeah, literally.
Play Grealish in the middle, put Mount on the right, put Foden on the right, Mount on the left. They can both cut in, and fullbacks can get down the sides. There was no room for Shaw or James to get down the sides.
No.
Because when he put them on, they kept drifting out to the left. Like Grealish is going to play wide left. If you put him out there, his natural inclination is to drift towards the touchline to get the ball. You know what I mean? And he made a lot of. I thought Grealish made a difference when he came on because he actually took the ball and he went past a few Scottish players. And he should have started, man. I mean, Sterling was absolutely dreadful, and then they take. I mean, you see Grealish coming on, you think about time, and then he takes Foden off, who was making decent runs but not being found. Now, I can understand you playing 2 holding midfielders when we get deeper into the tournament against really good sides.
Yes, against not France, Portugal, whatever, you can understand it,
Yeah, you're talking about a Croatia without Mandzukic, and Croatia without Mandzukic are pretty toothless.
Yeah, we've seen the last 2 games,
and Mandzukic, a much underrated player in my view, always has been. And then you have, 2 teams, their world ranking, Czech Republic and Scotland. Come on, so that's a group you should be strolling, rather like France are doing, or Italy are doing, or Belgium are doing. Yeah, it's a group you should be winning comfortably. Billy Gilmore for Scotland was the best player on the park last night for me, and the right back. Can't remember his name, but the Scottish right back had a cracking game as well.
Yeah, O'Donnell.
Yeah, and to be honest, you're talking about a 19, 18, 19, 20-year-old kid.
Literally just turned 20 in the last few weeks.
Yeah, in his first ever international appearance, blowing like a whale for the first 20 minutes because he couldn't get the pace of the game. Then he got the pace of the game and he dominated the midfield. Now, if you've got two holding midfielders in Wright and Phillips, and Scotland have got Gilmore in there, and let's face it, McGinn ain't blessed with pace. So Gilmore's having to do a hell of a lot of work, and he bossed it. Look at our fullbacks. Where's Chilwell? Why is Sterling starting? I know he scored but in front of goal, and his decision making is absolutely dreadful. I thought Foden was playing pretty well and needed some help. But once again, you saw when Scotland set up, we were not. I know to keep you people going back to this word. Souness mentioned it, but we weren't cute enough to have an answer for it, and that's just wrong. And I'm sorry, mate. We've got to wake up and smell the coffee, because that wasn't a great Scotland unit there.
This is a Scotland team. Even Colin was on, as you saw last night. Even he's saying we're a team in progress. We're building for the future. We're going somewhere, but we're nowhere near to finish article.
Yeah, I mean we're playing two holding midfielders against, and let's be straight here, a guy who struggles to get into Southampton's first team most of the time, and QPR's second string forward. How frightened are you if you're doing that?
Yeah, you fucking rightly so. This is what I'm saying.
There were people out there that represented Barnsley and QPR. Come on.
Yeah. But the players we have, this is the thing. The players, I was saying just before I put you on, the players we have at our disposal, we are good enough to compete. We've got a good enough squad of players to assemble a team together to compete alongside the France's, Portugal's, Italy's, and all that at this moment in time. What's holding us back as a manager, and there's now things obviously murmurings going about that obviously Southgate wants another easy route for the knockouts and all that, and you're thinking, what sort of message does that send to players that your current manager, your best friend, basically, because he treats them basically, doesn't believe you're good enough to go up against the likes of Portugal, France, or Germany in the next round?
Yeah, and here's the thing: I'm not buying that for a second that we're trying to be tournament cute, because if we were trying to be tournament cute, we'd be behind the 8 ball, having to win the last game or get a point from the last game just to make sure we go up. So what you do is literally, if the Czech Republic have already won one, then you go out there, wouldn't you, and get buried by the Czech Republic 2 or 3-0, having beaten Scotland and making sure you're going through. But here's the thing that really gets me is, and Colin's going to go mad when I say this, but in terms of international football, you're playing against Gillingham, Barnsley, and Aston Villa as one of the big 4.
Yeah.
In international terms, that's what you're actually playing. You're playing a team that is ranked 43rd and 47th.
What a save.
And 28th.
And we're meant to be a top 10 team in the world, apparently. I think we are. We didn't look like it.
Didn't look like it. Struggled to beat a Croatia side who didn't. Let's face it, they haven't got a forward. Right, they're forward now that Mandzukic isn't there. Their forward options are shocking. Right, I mean they are Sweden without a striker. They've got a decent midfield, and they can defend fairly well, Croatia, because they're very rugged and very strong and very big.
They've got experience there, yeah. But
absolutely toothless in front of goal, please. And again, we're playing 2 holding midfielders when we could have done with another guy in the midfield. It's so safe, it's horrible. And you know what? It's a very hard thing to get out of. You've seen it in club football, mate. You see the local, in your local football, you see it in club football. Once you start down that road, when you suddenly go behind, and then you've got to step it up. Goal. Oh, what a save.
Oh, here we go. It's offside. He's offside.
And then suddenly you've got to step it up. You're like, it's so hard to change from that mindset into another mindset. It really is.
Also, we've obviously spoke about Sterling last time, but what about Kane? Another dead rubber of a performance. And but Kane, at points, he's he's playing CDM trying to get the ball, or he's out on the wing and leaving. There's no one in the actual striker role. He's meant to be the striker. And he's going all over the place.
Hello, everybody in the chat, by the way.
Where's the discipline from where's the managers telling Dr. Harry Kane to be disciplined and actually stay where they're meant to be? Because that's another reason why we're struggling up the top, because he's constantly dropping. He's doing it like Lacazette, if not.
Dropping deep to allow. Now that's all right. That's all right if you've got the likes of Foden making the runs in behind. But you're going to tell me that the big teams aren't going to switch on to that, right? So you've got Kane dropping deep, and you've got Foden or Sterling making a run through the gap where Kane drops deep and takes a centre back out in the middle. They'll switch on to that in no time.
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it doesn't work with Lacazette, but the only reason it does at Arsenal, does work with him, as he said, it's got players that have run beyond him and actually fill the void that he leaves behind. The last, you've got Pepe, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, Saka. I mean, even Saka wasn't even in the squad yesterday. He could have made 5 subs, he makes 2. And one of them didn't make, and obviously she said Foden didn't make sense.
No, and then
Sterling finishes the game as well.
Foden was making those runs, and if you've got Grealish in the middle, Grealish can find him. You know, coming in off that left side, Foden, or coming in off the right side, because he tended to drift over there when he was making those runs. Now, if you've got Foden making those runs through, Grealish is good enough player to slide the ball in through there. And that's really, really, honestly, if that's the level of our ambition, is how we did against Scotland. Not that there's anything wrong with Scotland. I thought Scotland were fantastic. I thought they upped their game. I thought they played to a level that I didn't think they were going to get much better. Having seen them against the Czech rep, I thought they did all right, but I didn't think there were anything massively damaging. And I mean, even in the air, matey boy, I mean, we made the QPR second string striker look half decent yesterday.
Yep. We made them all look decent. I mean, it says it all. As I said, Gilmore was basically the man of the match for the entire game because for a young lad as well.
Yeah, when you think a big game like that, his first ever international cap, gets man of the match for me. Jeez. I mean, I know you look at you take the Scotland team. Yeah, you got O'Donnell, steady. Tierney, decent, but, you know, he's a good player and he's playing, you know, obviously at a bigger club. And then you look at the 2 Scottish centre-backs. Okay. Then you look at their midfield and you go, McGinn. Yeah, I know. And then you look at the people they've got down the sides. I mean, you're talking Che Adams and keep our second string striker. You're not talking Ronaldo and, you know, and people were level of that. And we're playing 2 holding midfielders. You know, we were devoid of ideas, mate, in the second half. Scotland came out, they hassled us, they harried us, and then when they couldn't hassle or harry us, they just sat deep and waited for us. And we didn't have anything to get past them.
And this is another reason why people are now criticising Southgate even more so now, because he doesn't take Ward-Prowse to this tournament, and now that game was screaming out for a player like Ward-Prowse to come on or start the game in that midfield, pivot, and be like the attacking player, and also a set-piece sort of specialist.
See, now I know Phillips also bombs forward and Rice is more of the deep-lying one of the two. Now you can take that when you're playing bigger opposition, yeah? You can do that when you're playing bigger opposition, and then you try and build from there and you try and get the attacking midfielders into play. But what options were there whenever they got the ball? You know, when they got the ball, there was nobody making runs. The only person making runs was Foden into those areas. Kane was dropping deep, and because Scotland weren't being drawn out, they were trying to, you know, thread the ball through It was basically going into the forwards or into the more forward line players. How many times did we go backwards because we didn't have an option? You know, when Grealish came on, he changed the dynamic because he was actually coming to the ball. You know, at one point you had, I looked at it on the other map, and you had 4 attackers up there, but they were all up against the Scotland back 5. All 4 of them, but nobody was coming to the ball. And then when Kane did come to the ball, he couldn't make it stick because he had 3 midfielders around him. You know, it looked so disjointed, mate. And I'm going to say this now. I'm going to stick my neck on the block, and I'm probably going to get shot down in pieces for it because we'll probably reach the semi-finals or something. Unless Grealish plays in the middle, we have not a cat in hell's chance of getting past the first knockout round. France or Portugal will beat us.
Well, it's not going to be for anyway. It's right.
I'm utterly convinced of it, mate. If we get France or Portugal in the next round, I'm utterly convinced they beat us. Germany.
I know this manager, because manager's clueless. I mean, France. If we get France, we are getting royally thumped.
They'll take our pants down and ream us before we even notice they've entered.
I mean, now literally we're 20 minutes in, and I was been speaking mostly about last night's game, but France are literally having the chances here. It's just not taking us hands, but they are having a lot of chances.
They haven't taken them so far, but they're camped all over Hungary, aren't they? Hungary had an initial, I'm 20 minutes on mine at the moment. Hungary had an initial 10, 15 minutes where they were harrying and chasing everything. And now France are slowly starting to pick them to pieces. There's another header just over the bar. They're going to get, and they're playing with a smile on their face. They're like, we know we're going to score. It's just a matter of time. It's a good ball in, but I've just seen the ball in by Benzema and Mbappe's header go over, but they've had 2 or 3 chances, and they'll get more. The forwards are laughing because they know they're going to get more chances. They know they're better than these.
Exactly, they believe in their ability.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it?
And a manager, and they've got a manager in Deschamps. Obviously, a great player as he was back in the day. But also being that, he knows how to utilize the strengths and the weaknesses of his team, of the players he's got.
And once again, we've taken Calvin Phillips, mate, and we've taken Declan Rice. Now, I agree with Rice. Everybody says what a good game Phillips had. Yeah, brilliant. But he's picked Jude Bellingham, right? Now, Jude Bellingham is in the squad. And once again, we're doing that usual thing where we see a real talent and we're not putting him on the park. It happened to Theo Walcott, and I think he damaged something terrible when I think it was Hodgson took it. And he never got a fucking kick. And are we going to do the same with Bellingham? Is he going to get like 15 minutes here and 10 minutes there?
All players down. That ain't good.
You don't know how good he is until you chuck him in there. Scotland were brave enough to do it with Gilmour.
Yeah, exactly.
No fear, youngsters, right? No fear.
The excuses as well. Sorry, the excuses you're getting from Gareth Southgate. Oh, it's a very young, inexperienced team.
No, it's not. No, you've got Champions League winners.
Because I put the volume up. We're listening to it. He said that I muted it, and Colin literally went through the entire starting 11 and subs. And he said, we've got Premier League winners, Premier League starters, Champions League winners in the likes of Reece James and Mason Mount recently. Raheem Sterling plays consistently for Man City, one of the best managers in the league at the moment. And yet, this is what we're getting when it comes to the collective.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. Hello, Mustache. How are you doing? Hello, everybody in the chat. I don't know what your feelings are on last night's performance, but it was pretty poor.
Yeah, Steve's saying as well, I've got my first COVID vaccine 4 days ago. I had no side effects overall. Which one did you have, by the way?
Good luck, buddy. Good luck.
I had the Oxford fucking one.
AstraZeneca, yeah.
AstraZeneca, that's the one. But
me too.
I had obviously the first one. I had that obviously back in March, just before it all went off. All the blood clots, all this, all that. You could have side effects. Any of them you could have side effects to, basically.
Yeah.
The same ones and all that. They're fucking
Any
all about,
anytime you take the drug, it can have a side effect, mate.
Oh, he had this one. Pisva, what you pronounce
Oh, the
it?
Pfizer.
Pfizer, that's it.
I hate to tell you this, mate, but you'll either have no reaction from the second one, or you'll have an awful one.
Yeah, don't just because you haven't had a reaction for this one.
Yet, buddy.
Yeah, don't get cocky for the second one. Trust me.
Because a lot of our chaps have had the Pfizer, and they were okay with the first one, and then my boss was logy as hell on the second one.
Well, same for me. The Oxford one I had, the first one I was fine. I kept on top just in case with my tablets and all that, but didn't really need them. But just in case.
Yeah, I was
no reaction. The second one, and it went on for long. Actually, went on for longer in sense of you're told 3 to 4 days.
I had my second one yesterday.
It was like 6 days. I was still like,
5 o'clock. Second one yesterday at 5 o'clock, and I was all right. And then last night, I just started to feel a little bit. And then this morning, I woke up. My arm was absolutely stiff as a board. I'm feeling a little bit logy. Nothing major. But apparently, they reckon 24 hours, don't they, before you start feeling if you're going to feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, as I watched it, I woke up. The bloody another one's gone down. Jesus. No, it was the same. The second one, literally, as you said, first night's fine, nothing major, a little bit of a warning, but nothing. Kept on top of my tablets. Woke up. It was like a fucking truck had hit me, but as soon as I took the tablets, I was fine within 20 minutes. But it was like but it went, as I said, it went on longer. It was like it went on for 6 days. It was like, bloody hell, just fuck off now.
Yeah. Not great, is it? I've got to say that everything that I've sort of looked at with it, and I'm glad I've done. Yep, well done, mate. Yeah. Now I'm not being funny, but and absolutely bang on. But the only reason I've taken the 2 is because I need to travel. But I'm not having any more of this. After I've had a month of this, mate, I'm not having any more of this lockdown. And we've got, it's costing about 400 or 500 to just get permission with tests now to go and get back home. That's absolutely, and that's poor. Thoughts on the France game, Steve? I think it's just a matter of time with France.
Yeah, literally, they are literally dominating. Well, half. It's still 0-0, but literally, they are dominating Hungary now, chance after chance. They haven't took them yet. There's only a matter of time, like Warren says. I mean, Hungary's number 9 had their striker had to go off the knock.
And now they're
someone else went down, but he's fine. He's played on, but yeah. I was getting very argy-bargy now. Oh dear.
Yeah, they're putting it about a little bit, aren't they?
I mean, the stats are just coming up now. Possession 38 to Hungary, 62 to France. Attempts 4-1. Corners 1 each.
They won't be able to keep them out for the rest of the game.
No.
When you look at France's midfield, it's actually quite scary.
Midfield in the attacking three as well. Benzema, Mbappe, and Griezmann as an attacking three as well. And you got Pogba, Kante in behind that, supplying and helping out the rest of the team. And Pogba, this is the thing with Pogba as well for France. He's absolutely unbelievable for France.
Yeah,
he's a different player to what you see at club level for United.
Steve in the chat saying, how far do you think Belgium and Italy will go? Right. Italy, I think, will come up against a team.
Go on.
I think Italy will come up against a team where Bonucci and Chiellini are both excellent defenders, but they don't have any pace. And the problem with it is you've also got both their fullbacks bomb on. Now, if their press doesn't work, and it is possible to beat the press, I mean, you've seen it with Manchester City. If you know, it's not far off what they do. And if you can beat the press and you've got pace down the wings, Bonucci and Chiellini will get exposed. So I think Italy may reach the semi-finals. I don't see them getting any further than that. And I thought Belgium got out of jail the other day. When Belgium were on it, they're not bad. But I can't see Belgium are going to be the greatest. I think if Belgium play Italy, I think Italy knock them out. I'm very impressed with. I was very impressed with Portugal. I didn't think Germany were that great.
No.
France did what they needed to do to get through, and I think France are still massively the favourites. I think the Netherlands. Not sure there. I mean, for me, the three most impressive sides I've seen so far would be Italy, France, and Portugal.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the Belgium-Denmark game the other night, and Denmark absolutely dominated the entire game and didn't deserve to lose. Yeah. It says it all about the Belgian team, actually. Without De Bruyne, they looked devoid of ideas. They lack any ambition going forward. And everything. The second he came in the second half.
Yeah,
that was the difference. That was the difference. One player. Without him, if he gets another knock or anything, or he's to go off during the game, you know, if it's tight, they're not going to win it because they haven't. Even though they've got decent players, don't get me wrong, Lukaku and all that. They don't have that person to supply the ball to them.
It's interesting to hear, mate. I don't know whether you heard it, but it was borne out by another person, so it wasn't just Mourinho. But they were talking about Eden Hazard and how bad he is at training, and how much more they think he. You know, Mourinho was saying that he thought. I mean, Mourinho was saying, no, he's an incredible talent. Oh, has he missed that? Benzema. He said, what an incredible talent he is. But he could have probably been 10% better in all areas had he been a more dedicated professional. You know, and he just wasn't. And that's a worry, isn't it? You know, when
it's saying something now, and obviously when he was at Chelsea, when he was playing for Chelsea, he was the main Hazard for Belgium, basically. Now it's the other way around. Since he's left, not just his club career, he's obviously put a lot of weight on him. Like he's a Spanish sniper by the looks of it. He's not. I think there's Chelsea fans even saying just before he left, and since he's left, that he's not the sort of Madrid Galactico that they all thought he was going to be, because he doesn't train hard. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that.
No. He's been tucking into the pasta a bit as well, hasn't
he? Yeah, just a tad. Yeah, and the paella and all that, and the local beers. But he's not the Galactico type of player that trains and bleeds the club literally left, right, and centre, do everything for the cause.
Yep.
And there's no coincidence, since he's obviously gone there, and obviously that's all happening. But he doesn't feature another one from Mbappe. It doesn't really feature for Madrid, and now he doesn't even get in the first 11 for Belgium now. His brother does.
Yeah, Torben. Yeah, I've got to say he's very.
When he comes, he's come on as a sub in his last two games, his first two games, for the Euros. You wouldn't even know he'd come on. Apart from when you see him come on the pitch, you don't even notice.
No, he's. I tell you what, where he started to go backwards from me. You know, when you had that Mourinho thing with because Hazard was, and I have it on reliable information, it was actually bonking the physio. You know, when they had that thing with the female physio.
Yeah, but Swansea and all that. Yeah, I'm to Swansea first game of the season.
You know the female physio thing when Mourinho wanted her off the pitch and she wanted to get out there.
Bollocked her, like, what you fucking doing? I told you to stay put and all that.
Yeah, because she decided that might not be a bad idea, because at the time she happened to be bonking Hazard. And I think ever since then, never quite been the same. Never quite. Bloody hell, Mbappe, that's a good move.
Even at Chelsea, all these praise he got from the media and all that, but he's the most inconsistent player. But one season he'll be great. Yeah. And then Chelsea would win the league or whatever. The following season, he'll fall for a cliff and be absolutely abysmal. Yeah. And he'll come back again the following season, and then back and forth. It's so inconsistent. But the amount of praise he got, world-class player, this, that. It was like, he got the potential, don't get me wrong.
No,
but
you've
he's
got
not
potential
that
to be
level
world
because
class.
he's so inconsistent.
No, he's not that level. And that, do you know, that's the thing. I always wanted to have this discussion because I believe world class is a massively overused term.
Mm,
You know, and we said it before with the England golden generation. No,
yeah.
if you were world class, you'd have won something or at least reached the final.
Mm,
World class, you can. What players could you say that about? We can say that about anybody who's won a. And as much as you might go, oh yeah, but Beckham and this and Scholes that and so that. No, if you've reached a final and you say you've reached a World Cup final, say you've reached a Champions League final, and you've got a winners medal, losers medal, whatever. But if you've got there and if you've won something like that, you've won the Champions League, you've won the European Championships, you've won that, then you're world class. Iniesta, Xavi, they were world class. You know, the amount of Champions Leagues they won, the amount, you know, world class players. You have to say that Kante is probably, for me, is a world class player.
Yeah, there's no doubt
In
about
the
it.
position
He said he's won everything you could possibly win at the moment at club level,
yeah.
and he's won the World
and
Cup.
He's one of the most humble, hardworking.
Yeah,
You know, Kante is world class. I don't think Harry Kane is world class. People go, oh, he's a very,
top
very
talent. Don't get me wrong, but he's not world class.
No, and you get that. You look at Rooney, club class. Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, club class. Brilliant players at club level, but not world class. Ronaldo, world class. Messi, not world class. And people go, oh, but fantastic player. And for his club, when he had Xavi and Iniesta alongside him, absolutely sensational. Yeah, brilliant player. But you take Xavi and Iniesta away from him, he did nothing. Nothing. So how much money and how good was Xavi and Iniesta? How much were they worth? And people go, oh, Messi's world class, Messi's world class. Really? What's he done with Argentina? Ronaldo was in a very, very average Portugal team. And he took them. Yeah, and he took them. And he did everything he could. And he actually won something.
Yeah.
You tell me what Messi did with the Argentina side, and Argentina had a far better team than Portugal.
Yeah.
You know, people go, oh, Messi's world class. No, he fucking isn't. He's superb club class.
Argentina got to a World Cup final in 2014 when Germany won it. Got to the World Cup final against Germany.
Did nothing.
And he did nothing. He was non-existent in that game.
Yeah. There was his chance to go, this is me. And let's not forget, just in case anybody's, you know, that the players that Argentina did have, Di Maria, Aguero, you know, come on. You know, that's not like the Portugal side. You know, who had João Pinto up front, for fuck's sake.
They had Mascherano in the team as well, just about to retire as well.
Yep, exactly.
In midfield.
You know, I'm not being funny, mate. You know, people will go, but he's not.
This is the thing, going back to what you said about Ronaldo. Apart from when he broke through, when he came through as a young age, for his Portugal team, we had like Figo, Rui Costa, and all that them sort of players in and around him. He's since Day sort of retired and all that, he's always been surrounded at an international level by average players.
Yeah,
to his standard.
I mean, about the only one you can say that was probably on a par with him because he won things at Champions League level and he won things at world level was Deco.
Yeah,
you know, and a vastly underrated player. But there's so many people who sort of catch the eye at club level that everybody calls world class, and yet the real world class players hardly ever get a mention. You know, look at Materazzi, the central defender, really sensational. What he did in the World Cup, you might not like it, but he knew that Zidane would be a problem. He got him off the park.
Yeah,
but you know, and then he obviously won the Champions League with Mourinho. You know, but there's a guy who, how can I put it? You call it professionalism or whatever, and they'll do anything to win. Yes, they will. But you know, you're talking when you've been there, you've got the medals. You can say you're world class. You know, if you've got two of those medals, if you've got a Champions League winning medal and a European competition medal. So say you've won the World Cup, say you've won the European Championships. Yeah, if you've won a World Cup, if you've been in a World Cup final, you know, and you've how can I put it? If you've won a World Cup final and you've won you know, a Champions League medal, and you can honestly, and you're obviously your club medals as well, you can say you're world class. You know, if you won a European Championship, you can say you're world class. But you know, you can sort of look at them and go, how good were these players? Oh, Pogba just got his toe nicely trod on there.
I'm surprised it's still 0-0, by the way, with 40 minutes in.
Yeah. It's just a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hungary are just making they're actually winding France up here. They're actually really getting on France's nerves. Yeah, they're getting stuck in, and France are not happy. They're getting a little frustrated.
And the refs obviously down the flow of the game to dictate and obviously play out basically. He's not interrupting it, so he's doing it good there.
Yeah.
And this obviously, unless there's, apart from obviously where we've seen a couple of the Hungary players go down with a bit of a knock, then he obviously has to stop it and make sure they're okay and all that. Apart from that,
I mean,
can't complain.
I mean, Hungary are pretty good journeymen, but they're just going to work hard, aren't they, Hungary? And once again, you know, you see, how can I put it? You've got France versus Hungary, and we all know how this should end up, and it will end up that way. I'm sure it will. I'd be very surprised if France screw it up. But already in the first half, you see France making far more chances than England made against Scotland. You know,
the first 5 minutes,
and that's about the level. You know, we're talking about a team that, yes, okay, they beat. They lost to the Czech Republic, Scotland, after they'd beaten them twice in the qualifiers or whatever. But you know, Hungary are on Czech Republic level, Scotland level. You know, and if England want to compete with France, you've got to be doing this to Scotland. You know what I mean?
And again, going back to obviously we mentioned Spain going Ericsson and all that before. You know what? For all the criticism he got tactically and all that for certain games and all that, we got to that stages of quarterfinals and whatever.
Yeah,
but he still, no matter what, he believed in his players to be good enough, to win the group and play. If they won the group, they had to play someone like France, but he didn't. It didn't bother him. He wanted to win the group.
Yeah,
and he wanted to prove that his players were good enough. Well, Southgate just doesn't want to do that. He just wants. It just seems like he wants to ease you out again. They're
just ultimately that so-called golden generation ultimately weren't good enough.
Yeah, but I'm saying at least he was. At least Ben was willing to try and prove that otherwise. Obviously,
don't get me wrong, mate. They had their days when they did approach a level that you could say, yeah, it'd be, you know, if they could keep that sort of standard up, no question they'd be world class. Like beating Germany 5-1, for instance. You know, what a night that was. You know, but England failed to put enough performances like that on the table. Yeah, you'd say Gascoigne was world class. You know, but I can't think of too many England players that have been world class since, you know, those days. I really don't. I certainly didn't have Beckham, Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, or Owen down as world class. I really didn't. Brilliant players for club. Don't get me wrong. For club, absolutely sensational. But you know, it's like when they say, "Oh, Rooney scored all them goals." As much as I don't like Lineker, I'd say he was a world class striker.
Yeah.
You know, because of what he did in the World Cup. But I've got to say, you know, you look at Rooney, and yes, he broke the goal scoring record for England. But you know, when you're scoring goals against San Marino and North Macedonia and Bosnia Herzegovina, and you're getting you're getting 2s and 3s against them, it doesn't mean a lot, mate. No. Doing it in big competition.
And again, most of them, half of them goals are from a spot as well. So I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm not really impressed, really.
I mean, I think the last world class performance I saw. Don't get me wrong, he didn't do it all the time, but he was always a good player. But actually stood out and stood up at a World Cup tournament and took the ball by the horns was Owen Hargreaves that day we lost to Portugal on pens. And he was, Rooney got sent off and he did the work of 3 men. He was sensational. But, Ronaldo ended up getting Rooney sent off. Clever, you can go, Ronaldo, everybody's going, Ronaldo, what a twat. But then again, the biggest twat of all was Rooney,
Oh, yeah, of course. And the thing is, Cristiano knew Wayne and what his temperament was like and knew how to get under his skin.
Yep.
And you tell his teammates that, and obviously that's what happened. And obviously, got a comment in the chat, got 5 minutes injury time somehow, by the way, saying why France not being direct. And I mean, I think they want to, obviously, but Hungary has just been setting up in a way where France can't do that. And they're having to reimagine
Hungary are 11 men behind the ball, fella. It's hard to be direct when Hungary are 11 men behind the ball. If you look at them, what Hungary have done, have a look at it next time they line up, mate, when France have got the ball. And you will see that Hungary are defending the 18-yard line to about up to that second strike, just before the edge of the centre circle. And Hungary are just pouring. When they've got the ball, they'll go and attack it like that. But as soon as France get any real control, they'll drop. Now you watch in a minute when they start feeding the ball forward. I don't know what minute you're on, but
there's a chance for Hungary. Oh, here we go. 1-0 for Hungary. Hungary just scored in the counter attack.
Oh, gorgeous! Now you watch. They'll come out like a stung wasp now. France in the second half.
Oh my God! I don't believe it. The world champions are losing 1-0 to Hungary. And you know what? You can't. We were saying France have had the last of the possession, but they haven't finished their dinner. And this
they've had 3 or 4 chances to score. And what did we say just now? Hungary getting in their faces are upsetting their rhythm a bit, and they're just.
Really scoring a known football they'd ever see. Hungary 1, France 0.
France 0.
Yeah, wow. I think that was it. The right attacking down the right hand side, of France's right hand side, and Varane and everyone, no one there. And poor goalkeeping either way because he's near post as well. You're seeing this. I don't know if you're watching it now.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for it now. Lloris made a howler, did he?
Well, he's basically he's near post. He's not like he's had to dive across the goal or anything. He's literally
see where the problem is. Pavard's let him go there. Yeah. Pavard's got the wrong side of him, and the guy's just sprinted past him. Can you believe this?
Deschamps isn't happy.
Oh, he's just smashed the table where the lady is doing that.
Yeah, well, the local journalists are there, literally. I'm assuming co-commentating for the local TV or whatever. And he's just gone over like, and then most has gone right. That's it, bang the table. Let's get the crap out of her as well. Even though she was right there, she saw him.
She's laughing her head off. Look at the friend.
Okay, now. Well, another English stuff as well. Okay. I didn't know.
I mean, look at Pavard there. When that nod goes in and the ball goes around the back, he's got to be setting off before because there's a return pass coming.
Yeah, exactly. He just sort of backs off and allows him to keep going and hopes that fucking his centre back will help him out.
The number two. I think it was Pavard.
Pavard, yeah.
Number 2 meant to be tracking him. Wow.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Pavard. That's what I'm saying. Pavard, or however you pronounce it, Pavard or whatever. He doesn't track him, no. But then he's hoping, but him not tracking, he then hopes that
indeed.
Varane's going to do that for him.
Yeah, but it's very hard to once you're playing a high line and pressing the other team, very, very difficult then to be able to cover back because you can't get across in time. Well, I think Hungary is going to be celebrating the next 5 or 6 minutes. But I've got to say, I think there's a backlash coming.
The France already now pinning seconds to go, obviously, left in the first half. And now pinning Hungary into their defensive half, basically, trying to get back into it quickly. Show some intent.
We'll put the cat amongst the pigeons. with France to play Portugal yet.
Well, yeah, if France fuck this up, and obviously Germany win later on against Portugal, it makes the fucking group very interesting going into that last game.
Indeed. Wouldn't it just?
Imagine that France, because even if we finish third, there's no guarantee you're going to get
What if Hungary get a point against Germany? Hungary hold on for this one, and then they get a point against Germany.
Oh my god!
I think it's almost a point where you could almost get every team on 4 points.
I think it won't be. It's possible. Okay, imagine that. Then you got the two teams that drop.
Germany
drops out.
Germany Portugal draw, or say Germany beat Portugal.
That's 3 points each of them.
That's 3 points.
Everyone's on 3 points.
Hungary hold on to this. Then everybody's got 3 points after 2 games.
Going into the last game. Suddenly Hungary, who are meant to be the whipping boys of the group, would have a chance of actually qualifying beyond getting knocked one of this lot out.
I mean, I don't know about you. I had them. I mean, for me, when I looked at the group, they had dead meat written all over them.
Well, yeah, no. Again, there's no disrespect to Hungary. It's just that they've been put in that group of the defending world champions, a young, vibrant Germany coming up,
and Cristiano
Ronaldo, basically.
Well, do you realise Hungary have scored in both games? Yeah,
technically they have, yeah. But obviously, one of their goals got disallowed, didn't it?
Yeah.
They have nothing to lose, do they?
I'll tell you what, the Hungarians are really upsetting. They're getting under France's skin a bit. They're being very physical, putting a foot in and giving them a little tug and lots of little naughties off the ball. And I think there's going to be a blow. I think Hungary are trying to get a French player sent off it. I think they've gone, let's have a go at their temperament and see what we can do.
The one person they can't target is obviously the best temperament in the world, if fucking Kante. So everyone else, though,
Pogba's more likely to lash out.
Yeah,
Pogba's
we've seen do it United. So, also, I don't know if you know, but what did you make of the fact that Arsenal are going to kick off the season at the Premier League season starts at Brentford against Arsenal, where the first game being shown. We're kicking off on a Friday the 13th as well. What can go wrong?
I'll tell you what can go wrong, mate. Arteta, points, 3 games.
Oh God!
Brentford, plucky Brentford go out there. They play really well, get a 2-1 win, and then we get City and Chelsea and get dicked.
Chelsea and City are both home and away as well.
Yeah.
Then we have Norwich and Burnley. Norwich, I think, will be the thing is at the opening 6. Norwich, as it stands, until we see we play it now until we actually see them play. Season starts. That'd be the 3 points we'll get. Burnley, it depends what Burnley turns up. If they're going to be burnt out now and starting sort of a new revolution, whatever, they might get 3 points from that. Maybe we're lucky. But then we've got Tottenham after that. And again, not saying that about Tottenham. They can't even get a manager at the moment. No one wants a job. Even Ryan Mason doesn't want a job.
As bad as we are.
Even Ryan Mason doesn't want a job. He's walked away from the club, apparently.
They did a big thing. Peak, though? Is that out of peak?
In peak we trust.
I think as Ryan Mason there been told, look, you're not getting the job full time, and he spat the dummy and walked away.
I think so. Because you would have thought by now, the manager that's turned them down, they'll just turn to him and go, you know what, we'll give you an 18-month contract, see how we go, basically.
But you wouldn't want Ryan Mason, would you? Because
I know that. I'm just saying, literally, worst case scenario, man. They've got the best managers in the world turn them down, turn them to piss off.
We don't like Mourinho. So Mourinho leaves, and he's even more defensive. In the final against Man City, he plays attackers, be defenders. I thought
in this final. Okay, you got Ryan Mason. Yay!
I thought Mason would have gone. Okay, let's really have a go at City down the flanks.
Sort of nothing to lose attitude.
That was the only chance they had, mate, and they didn't. They had a chance to go at City down the flank. If you want to beat City, you basically you do what Chelsea did to them. You draw, you play players who've got pace against them, and you attack them down the flanks. Because Guardiola's only got one way of playing. Two of his, they're having got Pavard here. Two of them are, there's two fullbacks push up and they leave bags of space down the sides. But that's exactly what Chelsea did. I mean, they just defended well against them, got the ball and just broke. I mean, Chelsea could have won that 3 or 4-0 the Champions League final. But even though he's absolutely hopeless on, in front of goal, Werner was destroying them down the sides. And the goal came through the middle as soon as Werner made the three centre-backs split. They were able to get a running man through the middle. Boom, goal. It's not difficult to play against Man City. It really isn't. It's difficult to get the ball off them, and it's difficult to keep track of their movement and everything else. But when you're attacking them as a tactic to attack them, it's not difficult to work out how to get them. You just need the players to do it.
Yeah, but it's basically because obviously he was Arteta at Arsenal, obviously he was at Man City and all that crap under Pep initially. Effectively, Arteta's doing the same tactics as Pep with less resources. So effectively, Man City is an expensive Arsenal at the moment.
Yeah,
that's it.
And what you've also got there when you look at, and I mean, there are people going on about Guardiola this, Guardiola that, Guardiola that. He went and spent 250 million on fullbacks because he tried to play the tactics he normally plays with Manchester City. And where did he finish? He finished 4th.
Well, skin of his teeth as well, yeah.
Yeah, just by the skin of his teeth, he finished 4th. And then he went out and spent 250 million on fullbacks. I'm sorry, mate. Anybody can fucking do that. They really can. I'll tell you what.
If Arsenal spent that money, I'd expect us to be winning titles like they have.
Exactly. You had Aguero, you had Company. I mean, they had a good side.
Yaya Toure as well.
Yeah, they had a good side, mate. Not difficult. And then you get given 250 million on top of that. Come on. Do you know what? I'd be bloody successful with that sort of money. I mean, you're talking. They had a proper side, Man City. Mancini had already done wonders.
Exactly.
I think the thing that gets me as well is, you do look at that, and Italy are the same. They've got 2 better defenders, in my view, than Manchester City have. But you look at how they play, and they play pretty much, with the 2 fullbacks bomb on. And if you've got room down the sides to play against these people, and all you need is 7 guys who can defend for their lives, and 2 lightning quick players on the wing, and a forward who knows where the goal is, and you can beat Man City. You really can.
Oh dear.
How are we doing, Cuba? Smash the likes up in the chat, guys. Ryan, I'm going to make a cup of coffee, mate, and then I'm going to get a quick cigarette, and I'll be back for the second half.
Yeah, no problem, mate. No worries.
Because I have a feeling it's either going to be one thing. There's either one or two things. It's either going to be a fantastic upset here, or I think there's going to be an avalanche in the second half. My money's on the avalanche. But you never know. If Hungary can if they can wind Pogba up enough, because he's already wound up, if they can wind Pogba up enough to get him sent off
as well. Yeah. How's that mindset?
Yeah, Benzema's a bit more rugged, but if they Kante, they won't get Kante sent off. But
no.
If there is a mental fragility, Pogba's got it, and I think you might see they'll keep trying to wind him up. Won't be long, mate. Won't be long.
You know it's always. Oh, that's what you're on. Of that, but it's on mute, so don't have any background noise. Obviously BBC now talking about the big game tomorrow, is it, as well? So a big game tomorrow, Italy versus Wales, the top 2 going to head for the top spot, basically. Oh, fair play to them, because I think fair play to Wales. You know what? Because not many people have said in that group they got to get them not even the win, but to come top in this top 2. I think they would have snapped your hand off basically if you said, "Oh, by the way, you're in this group of Italy, Switzerland, and all that, but you're going to finish second after 3 games, qualify for the next stage that way." They would have snapped your fucking hand off, especially with everything that's been going on with obviously Giggsy and all that for the 6-7 months or however long it's been going on now. Yeah, start tomorrow is going to be the start of the duo watch-alongs, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland, and Turkey all at the same time. Turkey already out, basically. So yeah, it's to be a winner-takes-all situation between Italy and Wales, and Switzerland might even sneak second because obviously mathematically they can, obviously. So Wales are going to want to go out. Wales can't rest anyone really; they have to go full strength themselves. You know what? Switzerland draw. They basically come further. They'll probably become top of in the top 4 third place teams that are qualified that way. But even if Wales obviously don't get the result they need or want and all that, if it's third, they'll qualify for that as well. So here's that. Obviously Spain, Poland tonight. Oh my days. You know what? Talking about upsets, I could actually see Spain losing this tonight against Poland because Poland didn't play bad the other night. Just didn't finish their dinner in that opening game. The way Spain played it, having all the possession and no fucking end product. I would not, as I say, I will not be surprised. Obviously, with Lewandowski playing for Poland and all that, and they actually finish their chances this time. Spain being beaten and on the verge of being knocked out at the group stage. How fucking. You know what happened though? Luis Enrique will be sacked if they get knocked out. But if they do not reach the quarterfinals / semi-finals of this tournament, he will be sacked. And he will be absolutely torn to shreds by the Spanish media because obviously he hasn't took any player in his squad from the Real Madrid team. And obviously it's been the first time that's happened in fucking years, basically. Take that risk, backfires, fucking hell. Life won't be worth living. For him anyway, in that sense. Oh dear. Literally. Oh, I've got this crap on now. Oh, for crying out loud. Some BBC promo crap. But yeah, I mean, just briefly touching on going forward for next season. Obviously, Arsenal opening the season up away to Brentford on Friday the 13th, and all. Obviously, I'll be trying to get tickets to that game as the away fan and all that. I try. No guarantee if I can't. I'm not able to get tickets as obviously away fans are not allowed, or just not. There's a limited amount. I don't make them. I'm not lucky enough. I will be getting myself and a few of the guys on for that night, and we're going to do a watch along. We'll do all the build up. We'll cover all the games anyway, pre-season wise, here on the channel. Previews, reviews, player ratings, and all that. Do the usual Premier League build up as well, like Premier League predictions, like we did last summer. Kit rankings, once all the kits are out, and this, that, and the other. All the kits. Do the kit rankings shows. Get a few of the guys on, have a bit of a laugh there. Offend some people probably with Samsung, especially with Samsung. Jesus Christ. And then preview for the Brentford game on the Thursday night on the 12th of August. Yeah, and then obviously Friday the 13th we'll go live an hour because it's opening game. We'll go live an hour before kickoff and make a big hoo-ha of it, basically, and really sort of try and get the buzz going for the new season, try and get excited and all that. And obviously, once all that, any transfer incomings and outgoings, I'll be covering that on the channel as well, via uploads or live shows, whatever. And yeah, basically, yeah. If worst case tonight, obviously, not want to say worst case. If I'm able to get tickets for the Brentford game, don't worry. I will still do content on the night, as in I will do not live vlog, an actual vlog match day vlog of the day for the match itself and all that. Do it all, film it all. Literally go to the match, watch the match, vlog it, just do a bit of recording here and there, and then obviously have to put it all together, edit and put it all together and all that jazz, and then upload it as soon as I can. Basically, once it's full time, and after I've been able to fuck about and edit and all that, I'll be uploading it as soon as I can. Basically, that late evening, early morning. But either way, until I know that's the plan. They are the plans anyway. So. Oh, all right.
Yeah, all back.
Players just coming out of my screen, by the way.
I'm a minute or two behind you. I'm still on the highlights. It was a good save. I was looking at the highlights and Mbappe's had chances. Why do I get the feeling that France are more or less in cruise control? They don't look super busy. You know what I mean? They're not being busy enough for me.
No,
I think he's going to read the riot act. I think he's going to read the riot act, mate.
Right, it's so because literally, as I said, they had all the chances in that first half, France, but they didn't fucking finish them. And then to defend like that near the end of in the injury time, like they did, fucking hell. In that case, they deserve to be one of them just based on that. But yeah, it'll be interesting what's been said at half time and see what sort of reaction we get from France in the early stages now. But Hungary again are setting up literally 2 banks of 4 in front of when it went off the ball. Oh. I'll take move review and then bring you in.
Come on back. Blimey. Sorry, mate.
No worries.
Quick message from my daughter. Obviously, feeling a bit logy today. I was going to go down and help her move. I was going to go down to Western today and help her move house, but this moment in time, I try to lift the wardrobe. I'll be good for nothing. Father's Day tomorrow. I hope she'll forgive me by then. Oh wow! So here we go then. I've just kicked off.
Yeah, I'm literally 46, 28, a minute and a half ahead of you then.
Yeah. So that's the trouble.
Again, France having the ball, but doing nothing with it.
Yeah. Well,
Hungary are doing what they did.
They've created enough chances to be 3-1 up here, but they haven't put them away, have they? I mean, let's face it, Mbappe had a good chance with the header. Benzema had a great chance. He did the usual that strikers do when the ball's bouncing quite high. He shinned it, didn't he?
Oh, here we go. No.
Hi, Nick. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, Deschamps
and
looks
Steve's joined us as well over on YouTube.
Hi, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, Steve, you're not seeing things. You haven't got COVID. Don't worry. Hungary are actually winning 1-0. Oh dear.
Very, very, very strange. But to be fair, I mean, Hungary. I had a look, and Hungary actually gave away 21 free kicks in the first half. That's called breaking up the play, isn't it? Don't let France play. Get a niggly, not enough to get yellow cards, but just a little niggly one here, a little niggly one there. Stand over the ball, push a player, grab a player. You know, they're very cute. They're very cute,
and they've been very smart with how they're handling Mbappe as it stands. And since the ball's been up over the top and it's direct towards goal, they get the ball. Good goalkeeping there. Say that now. But literally, the defender then goes, "Okay, you know what? This is how I'm going to do it," and he forces Mbappe to then get hold of the ball, but go away from the goal.
Yes,
instead, it takes away that opportunity of guts hitting it first time towards goal.
If they're going to get back into this game, they've got to get a runner going through the middle like they did with Benzema in that first half. You know, breaking late and getting in behind Hungary. They've been very, to be fair, the team that haven't got, if you like, any world superstars or anybody that's going to, good team effort by Hungary. But there's no mugs at international football. When you get to this level, there's no mugs either. You don't qualify by being awful. It's another foul by Hungary. The refs actually got to get hold of this and start producing a few cards.
That was lazy from Griezmann there. You're seeing it.
Yeah, I've never been. Mbappe, yes. Benzema now. Now Benzema's not as crazy as he used to be when he was younger. What a good save by the keeper. That was in. Get that. If he didn't cut that out, brilliant work by. Who's it?
Kurt, I don't know if I go that far. This makes England look good.
Yeah. Hello, Wardy. I'm not being funny, but I don't know how you felt about last night, mate. But I thought England were. I thought Southgate got it horribly wrong. He took Foden off, who was making runs in there into the box late, and he swapped him for Grealish instead of putting Grealish in the centre and hooking Sterling off, who offered nothing after the first 10 minutes. They worked out to look after him, and that was it. All over. I didn't see Sterling do bugger all after the first 10 minutes.
No,
you might as well have just stuck a cardboard cutout on. But again, it's what happens when you have your favourites. If you're a good manager, doesn't matter how good your favourite. How much. I'd have loved a Vardy last night. I really would. I'd love to have a bit of Vardy last night, running in behind people.
Yeah, Steve saying sorry I'm late. I was about to say he had his second COVID shot yesterday.
Same here, and I'm exactly the same as you, buddy.
Yeah, has not only kicked the stuffing out of him, but he's making him see things that cannot be.
Yeah, you know the old saying, mate. If you match a team, Ferguson used to say this, and Ferguson was spot on with this. There were some things I never used to agree with him on, but he's spot on with this. If you match them for work rate, endeavour, and heart and determination, then your class will show through. If you don't, if you take it a little bit easy, or you've got a chance of, you're a little bit blasé about it, you'll get turned over. You'll get turned over. Your class will show through if you match them. If you don't match them, you've got a lot of trouble. But at the moment, I think
we've got our first booking.
We were saying about France all smiling and happy, weren't they? I think France sort of got it into their head, and from the first 10 minutes, you thought, that is the case, where they've only got to turn up and they'll win. And you can't do that against international sides when you reach this stage of the competition. You really can't. Because most sides that have got to the tournament are organised. They know what they're doing, and they've got a little bit of something.
Well, especially when the team you're playing as well. In Hungary today, I've got their home crowd behind them as well at full capacity. Yeah. So I've got that sort of extra momentum pushing them forward.
Yes. God bless them. They're giving it a go. Pogba's getting more and more frustrated. I can see Pogba getting a yellow or a red here. I really can. He's whining. He's throwing his arms up. Yeah.
You've got a response from Wardy. So he says, I can get that, but you can't blame Southgate. Sorry, but you still have to question the desire of the players. For at least 5 or 6 of them never tried. I don't get me wrong. We are actually criticising players, but also he's a manager.
Yeah, but I'll also question the tactics, because England were completely lost, and I will question that Grealish should have been played in the middle, and he should have started, and they took the wrong player off in Foden. And here's another thing as well: if you're playing up against QPR's second striker, Wardy, you're talking about a guy who is sporadic in the Southampton first team, and QPR's second striker. You need 2 defensive midfielders against them. That's a lack of ambition. And you're right, but players, I thought Kane offered absolutely nothing. Oh, here we go. Kimpembe, Pogba's in there. Yeah, I've got a feeling either Kimpembe or Pogba's going to get a yellow, I think, at some stage. Hungary are being very cute. First touch, they're going down, and French players are getting quite frustrated. But I'll take your point, Wardy. There was a couple of players who didn't show up, mate. For me, players that didn't do anything yesterday, I didn't think Phillips had a particularly good game, but he wasn't massively blameless. I thought Kane and Sterling were very poor indeed. Thought Mount had an okay game. I think when Grealish came on, he offered something different, but of course they put him out wide. I don't think the two fullbacks were sensational. I really don't. You've got to say that England looked not leggy, but they looked devoid of ideas. When Rashford came on, did absolutely nothing. So yeah, I agree with you that 5 or 6 of the players were poor. But then again, if you set up in a defensive mode against that type of player, I mean, how can I put this? I agree with you, Wardy, but I'm going to say this, that under Southgate, I don't think England will win anything. And I think we play France or Portugal in the next round, we get bombed. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I thought Scotland were
I have no confidence in the England team winning any more games after that shit show yesterday. Southgate is wasting the talent this team has. Really happy for Scotland as they deserve the result. To be honest, they were lucky. They were
Gilmore's best player on the park. That says something, doesn't it? His first international game, a really big game. And here's the thing, you see. Here's where I have a problem, is why didn't Grealish start in the middle, crying out for it? You know that Scotland are going to go 5 at the back against England. Crying out for Grealish to commit players and go past someone, which he did, but you play him in the middle. And then the other thing that really gets me is they play, as I say, 2 defensive midfielders. Surely that's an ideal game for putting Rice as the holding midfielder and letting Bellingham have a start. You know, we forever do this. We take young players to tournaments and we don't give them their heads. So Scotland were brave enough to take Billy Gilmore to the tournament and stick him in and go on then, show us what you got. And I like that. I like that. You know, let's put it this way. If you swap Southgate and Clark over, right? So Clark's managing England, Southgate's managing Scotland, England win that game. For me, you know, because Clark's a better coach than Southgate. It's as simple as that.
Dembele's coming on for who? Okay. Taking off
Clark's not the
Rabiot.
greatest manager in the world, but he's better than Southgate. And if he'd have been in charge of England yesterday, we'd have probably won that.
Yeah. Adrien Rabiot has just been taken off for Moussa Dembele.
Ooh.
So took a defensive player off. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, these are subs we're not seeing from Southgate, changing of tactics or a formation or anything.
They want a bit more strength in that midfield, don't they? They want a bit more strength in that midfield.
Hungary on the attack. See what they do from this. He's smart. Oh, unlucky. Oh, no, he's got it. Can't away from it. Okay.
I love it. Hungary get another free kick, roll around for another minute. Number 15, he just got caught by Griezmann there, and down he went, rolling about. Love it.
Unlucky from the Hungary. They literally had good build-up play then. It falls to the number 20. He just slices at it, and it goes way towards the corner post.
Just seeing the Dembele sub now. Yeah, Rabiot really hasn't got into the game as he's been bullied off the ball a bit, so they put Dembele on, and they're obviously going to try and they're just going to go one holding and attack more.
With Rabiot, I've never really rated Rabiot either, even at PSG or now at Juventus.
Yeah.
Because obviously with Arsenal being linked to him, you look into certain things, and I've just never been convinced of him. Will he improve us or not? Well, what's to say?
Hungary are doing it Scotland, don't they, mate?
Yeah.
Hungary are doing it Scotland. They're working their socks off, and they're playing for the pride on the shirt. They really are.
thought it was the keeper saved, wasn't it? Then Blair's shot here, wasn't it? I hit the post. I thought the keeper saved it. Dembele hit the yes. For anyone's obviously not actually watching the game, yeah, Dembele literally goes up the other end and gets a shot off. I initially thought the keeper gets a hand straight and pushes it out for a corner, but no, it hit the post.
See, he did that after 55 minutes.
You
know, yesterday, 70 minutes.
We'll be still waiting. Fucking hell. If England were in this position as in the Hungary, we'll be still waiting for the first sub.
Yep.
Almost. The Van was in the right place at the right time. If he's not there, that's 2-0, surely. You'll see in a sec what I'm on about.
Yeah. I haven't even seen the post hit yet, right?
I'm just saying that you'll see in a bit what I'm talking about there.
Yeah. Dembele's going to come in on his left foot. Come on, you should know that's happening. Yeah, it's very good.
Hold it up. Oh, he slipped. Unlucky.
The keeper's got nowhere near that. That's pinged off the post without him even touching it.
Oh, hand there. What? This is the thing about. I know we mentioned it on Open United and all that, but VAR, but things like that, it's been very underused, hasn't it, in this tournament so far?
Yeah. Yeah, and it just goes to show that you don't need to use it all the time. You really don't. I'm sorry, but you don't.
Can we tell the Premier League referees that, though? Please.
You know what? You look at the Spanish referee yesterday, mate. He was absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. And that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it?
Because we're going to get used to this sort of this way of using VAR, yeah. Oh, it's all okay. Cool. It's not that bad after all. And then Premier League comes back. Match day one gets used 20 times in 1 minute.
Steve, sort of spot on about Southgate's possession football. You know, it's all very well having the possession, but if you don't have a cutting edge, if you don't do something with it, you can have all the ball. Look at Man City in the Champions League final. Yeah, plenty of ball.
Just fuck all with
it. If it was all about having, possession, won you the game, I mean, Man City would never lose, would they? But
no, exactly.
What you do with it, and the trouble is, as we were saying at the time, it was all in front. None of it was getting in behind. All in front. So they had to bring Grealish on early, because you had to have somebody in the middle of the park, if you weren't getting down the sides of them, who can take a player on in the middle of the park and go past him and commit a defender out of that hole. And we didn't do that. We kept Sterling on, who, let's face it, the Scottish right back had him in his pocket. Tierney had him in his pocket.
Tierney was superb last night.
Yeah, I thought Tierney, Gilmore, I thought the right back, to be honest, Scotland to a man. I mean, even the old lesbian they had up front, he was giving, roughing up the centre backs and putting himself about.
I can't remember his first name. QPR striker.
Lyndon Dyke. But you're talking about QPR's second string striker. Come on.
Yeah, Charlie Austin is ahead of him at QPR. Charlie Austin is near the end of his career.
Two defensive midfielders against that.
And Wall-Prowse doesn't get into this team apparently because that's a bit the warning sign. He's picked so many defence-minded players.
Yeah. He took Trippier instead of Wall-Prowse.
Yeah.
So if you're taking Trippier because you think he might be good at dead ball situations, I'm sorry. The best player in the Prem or that England have got at dead ball situations, bar none, is Ward-Prowse. He scores about 4 or 5 goals from free kicks every season. So you can tell how deadly he is, and his delivery's brilliant. Old Hungary are bouncing, aren't they? I can see the crowd behind the goal.
Yeah, literally, anyone's not watching it watching it all because we all get the same feed. The camera's panned to the side of the pitch basically, and you could see in the background, whatever. a group of a section of the Hungary fans just bouncing and bouncing up and down, celebrating, flags flying and everything.
Do you
So
know
if you
what?
imagine a goal goes in, another goal goes in for Hungary, Jesus Christ.
Full stadium as well.
Full stadium.
Love it. And we've missed this, mate, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, get rid of all this lockdown crap. Everybody has their jabs and we're going back to normal, because this is what should happen.
Well, imagine the fucking North London Derby next season. The first one is a half-filled Emirates Stadium, basically, because of lockdown.
Stop that. It's going to come a point soon, if they carry on like this, where there's going to be, and I hate to say this, and I don't want it to be, but there will be a mass riot eventually, because people have had it. People are literally on the edge now of having had enough.
There's a video going around social media last night. There was a video going around social media last night where a gentleman was going on every London Underground train he could get on, and under stickers you see like saying about the wearing a mask and the social distance and all that. He's there peeling it and taking it off and putting it in a bag and saying, "No, where was their social distancing at the G7 meeting and all that?" And then they did little big barbecues and all that. They're all on top of each other.
And while we're on the subject,
no masks.
While we're on the subject, 2,500 people are coming to the final, aren't they?
No, apparently it's told that got an agreement in place with UEFA where they don't need to. Oh, what's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Need to,
so you can't
quarantine
you
or
can't
anything
have
like that.
that.
They said they can come into the country on the day.
Yeah, no.
And go straight to the stadium and do what they want.
You can't have that. So we've got people coming in on boats who are not who might be full of COVID, right? You know, people who are looking for a better life, whether you think that's right or wrong or whatever, doesn't matter. They're entering the country illegally and they're staying in the country, and they could be full of COVID for all you know, right? So then you also have 2,500 people who are special being allowed to come into the country, not do any quarantine whatsoever, but everybody else has got to do it. No, there's one rule for one. It's one rule for everybody. It's not one rule for each person. Oh, well.
Yeah, Griezmann just not, obviously, it's a bit scrappy, but it's gone in at the end of the day. But yeah. I think it's Mbappe with the assist as well, once that.
Yeah, there's one rule for one, mate. You can't have one rule for one and one for another. It's too much now, and people have just had enough. I've had my second. You know, you've got to pay. You've got to have 2 tests before you go, and then 2 tests before you come back. You know, all of a sudden you've got to pay these companies 400 quid to have COVID tests before you travel.
Yeah.
Come on. It should be absolutely free. Oh, that's terrible defending, isn't it? Terrible defending.
So he said, because I mean, based on that what came out about the G7, the barbecues, and then all hugging and fucking shagging each other, basically, pretty much.
Yeah.
And the fact that then half of Scotland came flying down from Scotland yesterday morning to be in London for the game yesterday, just to be in the area, all literally in Hyde Park on top of each other, humping and shagging each other again, basically.
Yeah. I'm sorry, mate.
If the numbers now rise and we have to go back into another lockdown, full on again, there's going to be riots. That's going to be right. Because hang on, there's no control. You haven't controlled. You've allowed it to get to this state again for the third.
Well, there shouldn't be another lockdown, mate. It shouldn't be another lockdown.
It shouldn't be. But you know what I'm saying? Things get out of control again. It's going to happen, and you know what's going to happen from the public perspective. We're like, well, hang on, you're in charge of the country. You break the rules, and you've allowed people to come. You've allowed a fucking G7 meeting to take place in amongst of the easing of it, and things are still a bit.
G7 meeting to take place. You've let
UEFA Scotland to come flying down as well.
Yeah, you've let half of Scotland come down. You've let G7 meeting. You've let 2,500 people in to come and watch the final, and giving them exempt all because they're rich and super powerful. And you're letting immigrants in by the boatload who could have God knows what. So I'm sorry, there's no way you're going to force people into another lockdown, and people won't have it. They'll go mental.
And also knowing that this whatever you want to call it, the Indian variant, basically, since that's obviously risen its head and all that, you've, instead of actually closing all flights in and out of India locking it out, like shutting that off, you've continued to allow people to come in and out of that country back here back and forth. What's your mindset behind that? And yet you're complaining that all the variants got getting stronger and stronger. Well, you're fucking letting the bastards go back and forth.
Yeah, exactly. If you really wanted to control it, mate, for me, I'm beginning to think now this is control of movement rather than control of the virus. I really do. Oh, that's a naughty one. That's a yellow.
We've now got a little like water break because how hot it is over in Budapest, by the way, today.
Yeah.
There's obviously 2 intervals in both halves where they're having water breaks, and literally both teams have come out and they've got literally like towers in ice water and getting them out and just giving them to players. Not even them out, they're literally on the necks and everything whilst they're taking drinks of water.
I mean, I'm not being funny, mate. There's no way, just going back to that for a minute, that I'm, once I've had the second jab and it's making me feel crook, and the first one I wasn't too clever. But there's no way I'm going through this for to be locked up again. It's just not happening, mate.
It's like what I've been saying. Literally, if it happens, it's gonna happen because it's virus, for fuck's sake. Let's be honest. They're going for herd immunity. It's blatantly clear that's the route they're going down without actually saying the word. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, but in that case,
that's what they're doing. They're going
no more lockdowns.
They're going to put us back into a national lockdown again in the next month or two. It's going to happen. And you know what's going to happen? We have said what's going to happen. It's going to be riots. Then the public are going to. It's going to be rioting in the country.
Of course it will. Because do you know what's happened also all the way through all these lockdowns? And I'm not saying whatever, but you get people going out and protesting in the streets about this and this and that.
And that's allowed apparently as well.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But you can't go and visit a relative or your mum that you haven't seen for a year.
That's against the law, apparently, But protesting in mass numbers, that's okay. You've got to allow peaceful protesting. Back off.
One of them now, mate. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Well, 20 minutes later, by the way, in this game is 1-1. But yeah.
People who haven't had their 2 jabs, let them stay indoors. When they've had their jab, then they can go outdoors. If it ain't going to kill you, and it's just going to be like a seasonal flu. Because I'm not being funny. I felt like crap for 3 or 4 days, and I'm probably going to feel like crap for another 3 or 4 days. I didn't do this for the sheer fun of it.
No, not for my fucking amusement. It's not for my amusement. We're going through this.
Exactly that, mate. I'm the same as you. I'm not going through this. I've gone through this because, you get all these people saying this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter for your own individual safety or for the safety. You've done the decent thing or whatever. Even if people, COVID and all that nonsense. But I've had the jabs because I want to travel. Because I want to be able to see my missus. I don't be paying £400 more to go and see the missus and the kids. You know what I mean? With these bloody tests and this, that, and the other that you have to have through a private company that you can't have through your own doctor without paying for it. So you have to pay £100 a test, and you have to have 4 of those. Really? It's a money-making scam. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Tell me you can't go to your doctors and get a note from him, or you can't go to an NHS clinic and get one before you travel to say I'm completely COVID free. The NHS can't do that, no. For people who are going to travel, where you don't have to pay anything or go and see your doctor and go and get a COVID test, no. But you can do it through these companies as long as you pay them £99 a time. Absolute bullshit, mate. Really.
Well, what's pissing me off even more amongst this pandemic and all that, the dentists and all that taking the piss as well. Oh, because of COVID, because of the pandemic, we can't accept NHS patients and all that. You have to pay. You have to actually pay this, that, and the other, like you were a private patient. I'm like, when you ask a question like, okay, when are you looking to sort of go back to the NHS list and all that? Can't tell you that.
Yeah. And Steve's right. If you're running out of beds, that's fine. But I went up the hospital the other day to have mine, and I was talking to one of the porters. Obviously, he plays football and he's a good lad. And I turned around to him and I said, "How are you coping with it?" He turned around and said, "We're empty." I'm sorry, mate. It's Once I've had I mean, honestly, if he tries to lock it down further after this, putting it back a month, that'll be that. That'll be that. The people just won't have it. And I'm not being horrible, mate, because I'm pretty law abiding. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not having any more of this. No way, really not. You know, I'm not going to. If you gave me a choice of taking my chances with the COVID or living like this for the next 3 or 4 years, I'm taking my chances. Because if you're going to die, if you're going to catch it and die, I mean, if you're not having a life, which we haven't had for a year and a bit, you're not having a life anyway. So where's the difference? You know, you can live half a life or not. You know, I'm living. Exactly. Sod them. Sod them. You know, you get 47 masks on and this, that, and the other if you want to. It's not for me, mate. It really is. Sorry, rant over.
There's even talking about masks there. There's even talk about obviously between now for the next we're in June, aren't we? Going into July. So for the rest of the summer, once obviously we're full off easing off the lockdown and all that, we're back to normal in that sense. For the night, as you say, from the 19th of July until end of September, you can go around back to normal, don't have to social distance, don't have to wear masks, all this crap, But the second it hits the 1st of October, social distance again, wearing masks. I'm like, what the? It's ridiculous. I mean, people on the buses today as well, literally. Because where I live, near Hounslow and all that, Hounslow's been touted as one of the big breeders at the moment for this Indian variant. That's really spreading in that area. And there's a bus that goes through Hounslow, through where I am, into town.
Yep.
And the bus is absolutely, the bus drivers allowing everyone on the bus again. It's absolutely rammed.
Yeah. Because there's one rule from it. You know, I'm starting to. I didn't at first. I thought they were all lunatics. But I'm starting to believe that there's a certain amount of people can do whatever the hell they like and they're never getting any bother.
Yeah.
And we can't. And I'm really beginning to think that now.
That policy, because of mindset.
You know. And I've got to the point now where I am sick to the back teeth of all this COVID crap. Oh, Pogba's not going to get sent off because there's something.
Also, Benzema's been taken off for Giroud as well. I've seen that.
Yeah. I like Tolisso. I think he's a much better player than people give him credit for. I like Tolisso a lot.
And in response to the comment in the chat from Facebook, yes, the game is live. We are currently live as we speak. But again, if you're going to ask about what putting the game on the screen, I cannot do that because Facebook and YouTube will come after me via UEFA, and I'll be shut down, and I won't be able to do this anymore. And I have to start my podcast all over again from scratch.
So we'll keep you updated with things that happen.
Yeah.
If you're listening, and if you are going to stay with us, smash the likes up and subscribe.
Literally, we are 13 minutes away from the 90 minute part, plus about 15, 16 minutes left if you include injury time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, mate, I ain't being funny. I ain't being funny. If Hungary get a point here, they'll fancy Germany.
Oh, yeah.
They'll fancy getting something out of the Germany game.
Yeah, especially no matter what happens to Germany's game either. That's the thing, because Germany are that team that they're out of the three, Portugal, Germany, and France, they're the team that are most vulnerable.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think so, and I think Hungary will fancy it. They'll fancy getting something there. If you turn around and said you're playing Germany in the last game, if you looked at that group and you said to Hungary, you're playing Germany in the last game, I'll tell you what, if you beat Germany, you're through to the next round, they'd bite your bloody hand off. Wouldn't they?
No, yeah, just a tad, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're giving us a point against Portugal and France. Thank you very much. We'll take that. But obviously, if they concede now, they're probably going home. Their goal difference will be pretty poor.
That'd be poor luck, though. These first two games that they've played against Portugal and France, they've played absolutely superbly, actually.
Yeah, they haven't done bad at
they've
all,
sh-
have they?
they've-
Hats off to Hungary. I mean, I thought they might get battered 3-0, 4-0,
yeah,
5-0 in most of the games, but they haven't. Okay, Portugal beaten 3-0, but
that was at
France
the end,
haven't
though,
had
wasn't
it.
it, as well? The 3 goals came right near the end.
Yeah.
Their sort of heads dropped after the first one.
Yeah, they ran out of steam and their heads went down, didn't it?
But they're playing their own game. They've dictated the tempo of the game as well. They haven't shown the team's respect that you normally see at this level.
Portugal got France after the Germany game, haven't they? So
yeah,
if I was Portugal, I think Portugal would be going all out for the win.
it was a repeat of the final, isn't it, as well? So it's like for France,
you want to finish top of the group, and especially if this finishes 1-1. If you were Portugal, you go all out for the win, because if you beat Germany,
the thing is,
he's holding on to the ball.
Whoever wins this group, whoever wins this group,
they've got a much easier path to the final.
Group and all that. It's like
so it's much easier path to the final.
Yeah,
you'll be in the group with Belgium and Spain in that part of the draw, which would be lovely.
Well, what was it? Steve earlier was saying before you came along was saying if England were to come third and obviously qualify for the next round by being one of the top 4 third-place teams, we would have to play the runner-up of the Belgium group.
Yeah,
Belgium.
Take that all day, wouldn't you? Take that all day, wouldn't you? I mean, you'd be in the same half of the draw as Belgium, Spain.
No,
you wouldn't be frightened about the Spanish, would you?
I mean, Spain are playing later on against Poland. There's no guarantee Spain are going to win that. I think Poland might cause an upset, actually, because
Poland need to have a result as well, don't they?
Because we watched Spain against Sweden, and they had all the ball, but they just did nothing with it.
Terrible
against Sweden.
But they did what England did last night. They just played in front of everybody for
and you could
50,
you can argue that Poland is sort of an upgrade to Sweden, and all due respect to Sweden. Sweden are again a young team at the moment. They're learning in the games basically.
Yeah.
Whereas Poland have got the likes of Lewandowski for crying out loud.
And it's not like Isaac didn't have enough. Isaac caused them a couple of problems.
Yeah.
Someone like Lewandowski will definitely cause them a problem.
Exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if Spain lost tonight. The way they played in that first game, and they were so wasteful.
I can see Poland getting a point.
Oh, it's a 2-1. Oh, safe from the goalkeeper.
I can see Poland getting a point.
Yeah. So there's no,
weirdly,
that's a weird one. There's no guarantee Spain going through either, as it stands.
I can see Sweden finish top of that group. I don't know why, but I just can.
Been playing well, haven't
they? They don't let many goals in.
They've played well in their first 2 games, 4 points out of 6.
They don't let many goals in, right?
No,
defensively, they're very solid.
Yeah.
If you don't concede goals and you've got a guy who can stick it in at the other end, you always have half a chance. Are Hungary going to hold on here? This would remember what we were saying before when I was saying to you about France, Germany, Portugal, but what you don't want to do is muck up against Hungary.
Yeah, if the world champions are doing that, then you're thinking, oh,
and
God.
It's starting to look like that, isn't it? So now that they have, or if they do, and France can't score a winner, this blows the group wide open. Wide open, because suddenly Germany think we've only got to beat Portugal and we're in. Because guess what? We've got Hungary in the last game.
Yeah.
We get a point. If we go and get a point off of Hungary, off Portugal game, we've got Hungary the last game. If we go out there and and dick them 2 or 3-0, suddenly we're in the hunt.
But also Hungary, even if they hold on to this, for this draw. Yeah. They mathematically, obviously, they'll have the same mindset going into that Germany game.
Yeah,
obviously
exactly
from their perspective of, well, you know what, we've got a chance here. We've gone toe-to-toe with the best team in France. We've gone toe-to-toe with Portugal and didn't come up. But obviously, at the end, it fell apart.
Why can't we get something here?
Yeah, third time lucky and all that.
That's a great save by the goalkeeper.
This result could obviously really rock the boat in terms of the group, because because everyone's been going on about obviously going to be Spain, Portugal, Germany, and France. They'll be the top three, obviously, and then Hungary will be the whipping boys, basically.
Yeah.
If results go the way we're talking about going into that last game,
yep,
one of them three, the top three, could come fourth. Then what?
Yeah, could do. And of all the teams, I think I'd put it on Germany, to be honest.
Because
if Portugal win tonight, Germany in real trouble.
Oh yeah.
Because France will have 4 points, Portugal will have 6. The only chance you've got then is to give Hungary a proper thumping, get 3 points, and finish
and come third. Yeah, because you can't.
Two.
Because if what was it? Yeah, it says like this. So France would have 4, Portugal win, they'd have 6. So Portugal qualify via, but they wouldn't win the group. They'll qualify technically, and then France would have to go into the last game knowing getting a result will get obviously top 2. But obviously the only way Germany can qualify for the next round is getting third.
I mean, if France hang on to this, then France have got 4 points. Portugal dick Germany tonight. Germany have played 2 games, no points.
Yeah.
So the only place Germany can go is third place.
Yeah, exactly.
Runner up, and they would have to hammer Hungary to do that. And Hungary have fancied their chances because they've already got a point.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking imagine that, Jesus.
Sure, Hungary v Germany for a place in the next round.
It makes
that'd be a screamer, wouldn't it?
Some of the results we've had this week, the second match day and all that, is going to make the third match day week very, very interesting.
Yeah, because I'm not being funny, mate. Say Portugal lose tonight to the Germans. Jesus, it's all on then, isn't it? Portugal got to play France and get a result.
Well, in the text just put saying third place you need 3 points plus a good goal difference, at least 3 points. Even 3 points isn't guaranteed anymore.
Yeah, because let's face it, you could have it go the other way. So say Germany turn Portugal over tonight, right, and this game stays as it is. Suddenly you've got Portugal going into France with a winner-take-all game. Yeah. Germany have suddenly got 3 points, and they know if they beat Hungary, they're going to have 6. Suddenly, Portugal have to beat France to be sure of progression. I mean, all 4 teams could still qualify if the results go the right way today. How many of these games are on ITV and how many are on BBC today, Boy?
2 on BBC. This one and the Poland Spain are on BBC. And Portugal Germany is on ITV, I believe.
All right, mate. I'm available for the Spain Poland if you're doing it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll send you a link. Oh, Thomas Lamar's Dembele's gone off. He's just come on. He's gone off.
Oh.
For Lamar, he's literally like, what the hell? He's not injured enough. He doesn't look injured. And the shop just he subbed him on and then subbed him off 20 minutes later.
Wow.
And put on Thomas Lamar. What the hell?
Maybe he's picked up a niggle. I'll have a look.
It didn't look like it. He looked pissed off. He actually genuinely looked pissed off that he'd be taken off.
Maybe he's not doing the defensive things that he's told him to do. But then again,
even Cheddar's is confusing the chat there.
Yeah, I've subbed a guy before like that. I've subbed a guy like that before and gone, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I've subbed the sub before. It's not popular. But if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, I've got to say that's quite good because that's a sign of a ruthless manager. I was one of them. But I won trophies. I wasn't popular, but I won trophies. Yeah, then Dembele's going to be really annoyed. But if you're not doing the job your manager asks you to do, off you come. Don't look injured, does he?
No.
No. He's obviously been, just put his hands out as if to say, why? I don't understand. Get on with it. You weren't doing what you were told to do.
Interesting.
That's why he's flipped you off. But with 4 minutes to go.
Yes, I'm saying not really giving Lamar much time to put his stamp in the game, has he?
Maybe Lamar is a better
Weird.
crosser of a ball than Dembele with Giroud in there. Maybe he thinks he's a better crosser. If that's the case, should have stuck Giroud on first, I would have thought, and then put Lamar on. Odd. I've got a feeling he wasn't doing what Deschamps wanted him to do, and that's why he's been stuck. Can't think of any other reason.
Must be a major talking point until we get answers.
Yeah.
In the 89th minute, by the way, literally going about to find out in the next 50 seconds how much injury time we've got left of this. Advance on the attack for their fans as well.
I've got to say, the fans have made it a great occasion, haven't they?
As I was saying the other night, was obviously when in Hungary played Portugal the other night. It's so nice to see a full capacity stadium. Again,
proper game of football.
Things we didn't notice before, in the sense of when you watch the game, you just watch what's happening in the pitch. You don't really pay attention to what's in the crowd and all that.
Yeah.
Whereas now, obviously, because of how long we've been starved of it, that's all we're sort of looking at basically when the game's a bit flat at the moment. We're just looking at the colours and all that in the stand.
And there's nobody wearing a mask, is there?
Doesn't look like it.
Hardly anybody wearing a mask.
Got 4 more minutes, okay.
I think people have got to the point, they just where they're going, fuck that. I'll take my chances. And that's fair enough. Because at the end of the day, once everybody's been vaccinated, you know, you as much chance of catching it as you have.
Literally, the France fans behind the Hungary goal are throwing bottles and cups towards the goalkeeper because he's taking his time here.
Oh, bless him. Send the British Army in, they'll surrender. Deschamps can't be happy with this performance, I wouldn't have thought.
Shouldn't be. It's a world champion manager now with this team. Shouldn't be happy.
Yep. I mean, I'd be saying if you don't match them and you don't put your chances away, this is what happens. So I'm going to pick the same side next game, and you're going to give me a far better performance. That would be me. Yeah, just seen a bottle come onto the pitch. It's a foul.
Hungary are literally 2 banks of 4 again. In fact, enough the ball as well.
I think they're doing. Giroud's going running over and see. This is absolutely stupid, isn't it? Because all he's going to do is take his time clearing the bottles. Throw some more bottles. I'll take my time clearing them away. I'll tell you what, here you go, you idiots. Throw some more.
Exactly.
Whoa. You got him up on there, didn't he? Kim Pember's not a very happy bunny.
Ooh, did he get the ball there? Is that a corner? What's going on? I don't think a free kick's been given. Yes, free kick. Yeah, he dives in and doesn't go for the ball.
Is that Hungary player?
Yeah, Hungary player. Kante's in the far corner, basically.
Oh, right. It's not in a scoreable position.
No. It's going away from goal, basically. But the guys dived in to try to get the ball, but mistimed it and not got the ball. It took.
What I can't understand when people are right in the corner like that with their back to goal. Don't dive in. Just hold them up. They're going nowhere. You know, the silliest.
Free kick. Let's see what they do with this. On the right hand side.
Comes Giroud then.
Oh, get rid of it. All players down. Free kick, I think.
Hungary player down.
Yeah, Hungary player's down holding his head.
Yeah, what a surprise, yeah. First chance they get on the ball.
You know what? Fair play to him. If it works, it works.
Yeah, they're quite cute, Hungary. Every time they try and break up the play. I've kept account because I watched the first game Hungary played. Okay, yeah, it's a diving tackle, free kick. Although it doesn't matter how you got the ball, mate. Don't be pointing at the ball. It's a free kick all day long. It's how you tackle, not that you got the ball. Pick the player. For that.
What's going on here? Let's pick the ball up.
Full time?
No, it's man. He's just picking the ball up. Even Hungary players are like, what? No one knows what's going on.
Full time. They haven't heard the whistle.
No, is it? I don't know what's going on anymore.
Drop ball?
Is he giving the ball back? He gave the ball back to France for some reason.
Drop ball.
I swear, if France score, that's going to kick off. Oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that! Don't do that! Ooh, just wide. And now that's full time, is it? I heard a whistle. Don't know if it's full time. Hungary gets a point. And they're now celebrating. Literally, players are now celebrating like they've actually won the tournament because of how big it is to them.
Oh, it's a massive. Get a point against the world champions.
You've gone toe to toe with the world champions.
Got a point.
Got a point out of it. You could argue they could have deserved to get 3 points out of this. They were that good. That second half, France, compared to the first half, France were more aggressive. Second half, they did nothing really, apart from the goal, and even that was a scrappy one.
Is he giving it? Oh, this is a drop ball situation.
Yeah,
head injury. It's a drop ball. He's giving it to France. You can't go anywhere near the ball, mate. If it's a drop ball, it's France's ball, and you've got to be 10 yards away. 5 meters away. I apologise. Yeah, it's a drop ball.
But even some France players around the referee were like, "What's going on? Don't talk to us. Tell us what's going on."
Yeah, drop ball. But there is a signal for a drop ball. Probably hasn't given.
Steve. Yeah, fantastic result for Hungary.
Oh, what
as I said, you could argue the whole 90 minutes they deserve to be. They deserve to even get 3 points.
Yeah, fantastic. Well done, Hungary. Oh, goalkeeper's giving it loads. Not surprised when you consider where they are in the world ranking. That's pretty good going.
And also, well, depending on what happens later, it's to make the final match day very interesting. Ends the group because they've still got a chance. Mathematically, they've still got a chance of getting third or second. Because what was it? 1-0? Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, they could beat Germany. Germany, they beat Germany. If Germany lose tonight and then lose against Hungary on whenever it is next week. Trying to think now. Bear with me. Then France lose to Portugal. France will drop to third, and Portugal will finish the group top. And Hungary would actually, depending on the goal difference as well, could finish second.
Why have people been saying we haven't got any refs there?
I think people are. They could even advertise. They usually fucking sing out. They write home about it, don't they? But
all of it.
The last couple of tournaments, because the last World Cup and the Euros before that, none of our lot were picked, were they? So we just assumed how bad things are.
Just down the road from me, the thing from Tring gave out 3 yellow cards.
If you're old enough to know, you know. Oh dear.
Not Mr. Popular either.
On any aspect.
Ryan, I'm going to dive off, mate. I'm available for the Spain game if you want us. All right.
Yeah, no problem. I'll set a stream up later. But Portugal, Germany will be over on Scott's channel, the Red Cannon going. He's watching along there. I'm going to let him have the reviews for that. And then literally I'll be back for this evening at 8 o'clock. So 10 to 8, I'll be going back live again. Go for a possible upset between Poland and Spain, maybe. You never know.
Never know.
So if you enjoyed the watch along on Facebook and YouTube, come from Facebook, comment to YouTube, subscribe to the channel. And leave a like and smash the like as well and share the content around as well and all that jazz, as we always say. And as I said, we'll be back again in a few hours' time for Poland versus Spain. And you know what? It may be a dead rubber 0-0, or it could be an upset. Lewandowski could have a lot of sitters to take tonight on the plate, basically. A lot of dinners, put it that way.
Well, we've had 2 evening 0-0s. We don't want a third one.
No, fucking hell, Jesus. With Spain, it is possible, don't get me wrong, because they are fucking wasteful as fuck. But I think the fact that Lewandowski is in the opponent's squad.
Spain, Sweden, England, Scotland. We've had 2 0-0s in the evening. We don't want any more of them.
No. I just think Lewandowski's going to be a major. Going by what I've seen in the opening games, obviously, for both teams, Lewandowski will be the difference in this game against Spain.
Yes, I hope so.
And yeah, until then, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.